Hi there, Don Fuchs here. More than 30 years ago I had my first opportunity to travel to the Pilbara as a tour guide for an international trekking company. Since then I've had several occasions to go back there. But like the first time, what stuck in my mind was the incredible beauty of this arid landscape. It just appeals to the photographer in me. Although sparsely populated, the Pilbara is a complex combination of ancient landscapes, astonishing geology, strong indigenous culture, and an industrialization on a scale that is hard to comprehend. To do this vast and complex area justice, I decided to cut the video of my road trip into 2 parts. This is part 1, so enjoy. And as always, friends, please subscribe to my channel or push the like button if you enjoy what you're seeing. The Pilbara, with an area of over 507,000 square kilometres, is situated in the north of Western Australia and covers a large part of the state. This video is about a road trip through this vast region, and it starts not in a car but on a boat. We are on the way to Thevenard Island, part of the Mackerel Islands of the Pilbara coast in Western Australia. Until very recently I haven't even heard about this island. The boat ride takes about 45 minutes from the town of Onslow, and getting ashore on the island is a bit of an adventure. Thevenard Island, nestled among coral reefs, its surrounding waters rich with marine life, is an amazing off-the-beaten-track experience. A modest and family-friendly resort with several spacious self-contained cabins there caters for anglers and those who want to leave everyday life behind for a while. Most of the island is protected as a nature reserve. To get a feel of this flat and sparsely vegetated island, we head to its western tip and wander along a remote strip of beach. The 6-kilometre long island, with an area of 550 hectares, is surrounded by limestone platforms with diverse coral reefs on the northern side. The vegetation consists mainly of spinifex tussocks, acacia scrub and coastal heath. We're the only visitors. It is splendid isolation indeed. The next morning we stay near the resort on the southeastern tip of the island. Just off the beach is a coral reef and the destination of some relaxed sea kayaking. On calm days, floating above the bommies and reefs is a wonderful experience. For us it is now time to say farewell to this hidden island and head back to the mainland. The port of Onslow underscores the industrial nature of the town that also caters for tourists with comfortable seaside accommodation and good food like the Onslow Beach Resort. Finally, behind the wheels of a 4-wheel drive the next morning, we drive out to Old Onslow. The dirt road still shows the leftovers of unseasonal rain that left the Ashburton River swollen. What is left of Old Onslow are the stone ruins of the jail, the courthouse, the police station and the police quarters. Old Onslow was gazetted on the 26th of October 1885 to serve as a port for exporting wool from the sheep stations of the Pilbara. Named after the then Chief Justice of Western Australia, Sir Alexander Onslow, the location of the town was poorly chosen. During the wet season, the Ashburton River floods and carries enormous quantities of water into the sea. Mooring ships often became impossible during this time of the year, and then in 1925 it was relocated to the shores of Beeden Bay, where the new Onslow now prospers. Today we explore Onslow and its attractions. The surprise is the so-called cartoon tank, only accessible during a tour. The large tank, once filled with oil and fuel for submarines during World War II, lies hidden away in the outskirts of town. Inside, the large tank is decorated in every nursery rhyme cartoon character imaginable. Neil and Judy Baker's Shell Museum is next, with one of the largest shell collections in Australia. A little afield is Onslow Salt, one of the industrial pillars of the town. It produces around 2.7 million tonnes of industrial salt every year. A popular destination for the people of Onslow and visitors alike is the Ian Blair Memorial Boardwalk. The 1 kilometre long boardwalk leads from Beeden Point over sand dunes to Sunset Beach. From there, the long salt jetty becomes the focal point during sunset. Now it is time to leave the coast. We are heading southeast along the Warlu Way, a collection of 4 interconnected routes through the Pilbara. With the help of the Warlu Way app, we drive into the vastness of the Pilbara. The app has an interactive map that works offline, announces attractions along the way, gives directions to them and delivers background information. On the way to our next destination, Gila Plane Station, 265 kilometers southeast of Onslow, we pass to an epic landscape dominated by hills composed of large granite boulders. Here we get a first impression of the grandeur of the Pilbara and its diverse geology. Gila Plane Station spans over 188,000 hectares and is a working cattle station. The large property is owned by Robin and Evan Pensini. Besides running cattle, Cheela Plains Station also invites visitors on their land and offers station stays. The main attraction on the station is geology, and the self-drive route accesses some of the key sites. Our first stop is the Wall, a spectacular geological formation showing hundreds of millions of years of water-induced erosion. Further up the Beasley River Gorge are the seasonal flowing Parenti Falls in a side gorge, carved out of striking red rock. Nearby, shaded by mature eucalypts, is Mussel Pool, a permanent waterhole and a sought-after destination on hot days. This quiet oasis is a perfect spot to just relax, listen to the birds and while away the day. The Beasley River Gorge provides a unique window into the complex and fascinating geological past of the area. One of the most important geological sites that attracts scientists from all over the world is found at the entrance of the gorge. Clearly visible on the opposite hill is a diagonal line that separates 2 different types of rock. This line represents what scientists call the Great Oxidation Event. This event marks the time when the Earth's atmosphere first experienced a rise in the amount of oxygen. This ultimately transformed life on Earth. From Cheela Plains Station, we keep following the Warlu Way and head for the area's premier national park, Karijini. Besides camping, the only accommodation within the park is the Karijini Eco Resort. spacious safari-style tents, spread over a large area, offer comfortable accommodation and also present employment and training opportunities for the local Aboriginal population. Just past the resort, a deep gush in the ground opens. This is Weano Gorge, one of the several deep chasms in the red rocks of the area. It is these dramatic gorges that attracted us to the park. A trek directly from the resort leads into this gorge and into a different world. Via a series of steel ladders, we drop into a cool, sheltered environment. Once near the bottom, a little scrambling along slippery rock ledges adds some spice to the walk. After a narrow gap in the canyon, we emerge into a large natural amphitheatre that dwarfs us. After this introduction into the gorges of Karijini National Park, we head to the north of the large reserve. Here a geological showpiece awaits us, dramatically folded and colourful rock layers. Deep below, rock pools reflect the glowing cliffs of the afternoon. This geological and visual jewel is easy to get to. A short but steep walk descends from the car park into the depth of Hamersley Gorge. Once down there, just let the beauty of this spectacular gorge speak to you. Above the gorge stretches typical Karijini landscape. Mountains composed of red iron-rich rock, white-barked snappy gum, golden spinifex grass, with a blue sky above. These are the colours of the Pilbara. On the way back from Hamersley Gorge to the resort, we are treated with one of Karijini's awesome sunsets. Evenings like these are the icing on the road touring cake. The next morning we were out again in this incredible national park. This car park is the starting point of perhaps the most exciting gorge adventure the park has to offer. Our destination is Hancock Gorge. This narrow canyon is classified as a Class 5 walk, reserved for experienced bushwalkers only. This is the upper Hancock Gorge, wide, sunny, beautiful. But this is not where we're going. A short and pleasant walk leads over flat country to the edge of the gorge. This is followed by a steep descent over steel ladders into Hancock Gorge. Down at the creek we turn left following the water downstream.
Balancing along slippery rock ledges, we head into the lower and much more dramatic part of the gorge. At this stage the gorge is still easy to follow. Then it is time to get the boots off. A pool filled with cold water forms the first obstacle. There is a bypass of this section on the right hand side. It requires climbing high up the slippery rocks, and National Parks does not encourage this option. Staying in the creek is safer. Then the gorge narrows and turns into a real canyon. Penetrating deeper into the bowels of the Pilbara is now a balancing act along small and slippery rock ledges above deep pools. Some tricky sections require nerves and add spice to this part of the canyon. Then a reprieve follows. The canyon widens for a short while before we enter its narrowest section. The canyon is now so narrow that navigating it requires what rock climbers call chimneying. It is safe and great fun. The rest is easy, and the end of this excursion into the underworld is now not far. We turn around at a waterfall where the creek rushes down over polished rock steps. Tempting as it is, to penetrate deeper into Hancock Gorge would require climbing equipment.
Yep, okay, good.
But the fun is not over. To return, we have to do it all again with a bit more time and muse to admire the beauty of this wild canyon.